Hello, everybody. My name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian Fishing for Float Fishing character. You may notice we've got some different rods. I spent quite a bit of silver and went for some big rods, so we'll go over what I've got. But starting off with a 1 kilo small common carp there. So, did buy two new telestick rods, spent basically all the silver we had. We were over 8,000 silver. I'm down to 287 silver. How about the Silverfish Falcon TL 800? New set of floats for it. New set of line. You need leaders for the type of fishing we're doing. And carp don't really care about leaders, so I went with the braided. I bought size 4 carp hooks, and I keep cutting out just to make sure there's nothing. And then we're actually doing what's called pop-up bully or bolly fishing. So we've got Cokes and Cream 16 pop-ups with corn, and then we also have cocoa and cream or cocoa nectar dip on it as well too. So we're over here at Bear. We're at 5531, and typically you want to be casting out 17 meters. I doubt I'm getting out quite that far, but I've got the floats at a 1.7 meter depth. The bottom rod here is just the basic size 24 with red worm. Kind of hoping I can get something there. Just bonus fish, but we'll see what we can do. See if we can have some fun. We would typically use size 1 hooks here while I'm figuring out this setup, and if it's going to work, I went with size 4 just to try and get a little bit of a smaller fish out of it. But we'll see what we can end up with here today. Nighttime may not be the best. I've had some good luck here in the past at night, so I'm going to keep recording at least for a little bit. This has been one of my favorite spots to do bottom fishing for years. There's a couple good spots usually at Bear. And this has been kind of my favorite spot. Looks like whatever's on one here just gave up. Nope, I thought there might be a fish on there when I was trying to drag it out. Trying to not get the floats twisted, but keep them where I can see them. Looks like a decent bream. No, gibble. We'll see if this turns out to be worth it. Something different. That's really what I was looking for. It felt like we've been doing the same thing over and over and over. So it should be worth good XP, should give us a good chance of floatfish level up or percentage points up as well too. Since we're catching fish we haven't been going after much. I pulled it too far. The 1.7 meter depth is right about as far out as I can cast. And when you cast and bring it in, you do use one of the portions of your dip. So, kind of like if you're fishing with a bottom rod and have ground bait, very similar concept there. hoping for rough really on the bottom rod, not 44-gram gibbles. Come on, fishy fish. I do like that you can see that red little piece on the rod, so you can see it even though when it's just sitting in the ground there, reflecting with the flashlight on. So the rods we got were, I think they're 22 kilo rods, 21.8, and then I've got 19.1 was the closest fluorocarbon line I could find, so that's what I'm using. My leader's actually bigger than my line, which is backwards from how you usually do it, but since there's only a limited amount of line on each rod, that made sense. Oh, I got it. Got it. It's a nice common. 3 kilo common, 1800 XP. I don't think a lot of people do big fish telestick fishing, so this could be fun. We'll see. Actually curious. Weekly US telestick. Common 5 to 9. Those are tiny, tiny. Black carp. Black carp. Yeah. A lot of folks over at Oldberg too. You're probably sitting there, wait, what, Tucker? You said those are tiny? If I remember correctly, a trophy common, and I'm looking it up right now just to make sure I'm right. I know a black carp is 28, if I remember correctly. Yeah, black carp's 28 kilos for a trophy. Common carp's 20. So we're going for big fish here. Leather carp is 30 kilos. So we're going for big fish. We will probably not be catching trophies with this setup, but we can still make some silver and some XP. That's really what I wanted. And it's something different. So probably won't be doing this every day. Do, a day or so here and then switch over and do some smaller fish, ultralight fishing. Someone's eating his paw. This is a good spot for match rods as well too. I will probably do some telestick fishing for carp over at Oldberg too. want a good fish. And I don't expect this to be super fast fishing. Even when I was carp fishing with 3 rods, I'd get 20, 30 an hour. So, and we're float fishing, which is not the most ideal way of doing it, too. So, we'll see how it turns out. Good news is carp also aren't known like a lot of the fish we go after for biting and running. You don't have to pay super close attention to it. Come on, fishy fish. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Come on, fish. Didn't think it would be quite this slow. Got this one, I think, a little deeper. I do. I had that one at 1.75. I was trying to remember the exact depth here. And that's part of why I've been leveling up bottom rod fishing as well too. Is you can get what's called a marker rod, and it will show you how deep and the type of bottom everywhere. That drug it. Actually, can go 1.65. We're casting out into kind of this area here, and it's pretty shallow, really, on either side of there too. Well, small fish. I did buy some non-pop-up volleys as well too, so we'll we may try some of those here in a second. I'm wondering if the fish have given up on Cocos and cream. Dog's wandering around. I wonder if he needs to go out. He got to play with his friend at the end of the street for a little bit today and drank a lot of water. Come on, fish. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but right now, a fish is a fish. Oh, I missed. Angry. I pulled just a second too soon there and pulled it out. Small gibble. You're fishy, 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 fishy. Marker crucian on red worm and small hook. Tiny perch. I did see mention this over on the spin character too. I did see that they are working on a new perch model, so that'll be interesting to see. A little bit more realistic than that one. That one's not too far off. I liked what I saw. They're also going to put a submarine out in the Norwegian Sea that acts as all these stores for premium subscribers. So if you don't know about premium, it's a basically it's a subscription, gives you ability to keep more fish, you get bonus XP and things like that. So definitely a good way to support the game. But kind of an interesting thought to have a submarine for that. It's not what I expected to see, but it is what it is. I know a lot of US fisheries at least will have another ship boat type thing be a processing plant for fish. So that would have made more sense than a sub to me. Let's try using a hair rig instead of pop up. We don't have pellets, so we're going to do 2 sinking volleys. Let's see if that gives us anything different. Okay, good. I thought it might be too heavy for a float. Each one of those are 3. It probably actually is too heavy for the float. Actually, a good thing I didn't even think about. 3, 4.5. Didn't even think about how heavy this stuff was when cast out. I didn't realize the volleys were that heavy. four-legged thing is definitely a lot more comfortable. There's been no firework booms so far, and he is upside down. Thought I saw some movement over there, but I was wrong. Unfortunately, it's a little bit late. It's already 8:30, so even if it doesn't do well today, it's going to be an episode that doesn't do well. Let's go old school and see what we can do. I have a better float. Not really. I'll try that one. And let's go real old school. Fixed float, which takes the leader off, and I'm okay with that with potatoes. And now that I think about it, because I don't have the leader on, it's not 1.7 meters deep there. 1.5. They had a 20 centimeter leader on it. Really? I wonder if I was laying on the bottom more than I thought I was. If that's the case, that might be why I'm not getting bites. How long is my leader? It is a 20 centimeter. Oops. Sorry about that. Had a window pop up and thought I was all tabbed out. Blocked my OBS screen, was going to go minimize it, and was actually in the game. Ah, so really? Surprised how shallow I've had to go there. Come on, fish. Not like in 9 small fish in 30 minutes. There we go. Black carp. No, it was grassy. 1.9 kilo grassy, not even a marker. And grass carp are also 20 something kilo for a trophy. I want to say they're 24 maybe. Grass carp, 28 as well. So black carp and grass carp are both 28. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely sitting on the bottom. Guess I don't remember the depth, or I'm not getting out far enough. Both of which are very possible. And that's interesting. Heavier float, but sinks more. Huh. I expected the float there to stay above water more. I think that was part of the problem. I think we were sitting on the bottom the whole time. Three. That should be enough. Ah, wow. Gonna have to look for a better float. If the sinking volley sank, pop up just barely has enough of. Nope, it's going under too. Yeah. Yep, I gotta look for better floats. That was my fault entirely. I did not think that through. Should have cast out real shallow and saw what happened. Well, that explains it. So if I wasn't making sense, what happened there? Um, the weight of the bait was more than the float offset, the buoyancy, the the float offset. So it was actually sinking to the bottom and sitting on the bottom the whole time. Nice 2.4 kilo grass carp. And you couldn't tell if there was a fish nibbling on it either because it was sitting on the bottom. So I'm going to find a more floaty float buoyancy. There's the word I'm looking for. And the grassy. We're 40 minutes in. We probably wasted a good portion of the day with not having a good enough float. I'm honestly surprised the 4 gram float wasn't enough. I guess I forgot the hook weight. I pulled enough that I better recast. And there's the first firework of the night. 3 days past July 4th. 4 days past July 4th. It's the 8th. I'm going to go ahead and call it there since I made the mistake of not having big enough float. Not the best day. I'll have to look and figure out a better float, but use this as a learning experience. Make sure your float is. There was a fish on here the whole time. Dead chub. Use this as an experience to make sure if you're going float fishing, you've got a good enough float. So 13 fish. I'm gonna guess 30 silver. 13 silver. Even the small common marker wasn't even a silver each, so not the best day at all. Not the best day at all, but use it as a learning experience. I'll go over to Volkov and see what I can find there. But otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow over on the spin character, and hope you all have a good one. Bye bye now.